I kind of think it's funny how we don't know. But that's my style. I don't like. We don't know what we're doing. Hey.
Hey!
Welcome to our new podcast.
Yeah, we don't even have a name yet.
It's called Y-Van. Welcome to the Y-Van podcast.
Yeah, that's crazy we don't even have a name.
Yeah.
But we thought we'd, just start. We were bored.
Yeah. We don't plan well.
And I think podcasts that's like the new hot thing, so.
Oh, yeah. Real new.
Yeah,
What's up with those shoes?
It's so cool that we don't even, Brian just gets up during the podcast.
I don't even care.
We don't, yeah.
It's natural.
When we did reaction, we had a spider that was in.
Oh, I forgot about the spider.
Yeah.
Did we kill this? Did we kill the spider? That's really
No.
sad. Yeah, we don't do that kind of thing. I mean, I was just saving a wasp the other day. So,
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, this is different. It's been a while. I know a lot of people that follow us or haven't seen us in a while.
Yeah. Probably don't follow us anymore. Who knows? What do we have? About 100,000 subscribers.
It was right at that. It was right at that.
Big fans of Nightwish and
Yeah, I mean, it was just so many.
Dimash and all these other people.
Yeah, and then the veteran.
Okay, see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian's dogs are untrained.
Well, actually, this is the trained version, unfortunately. Yeah.
This is such a great podcast. We have guest dogs.
Yes. Yes. Look, you can see your tail, and then my wife yelling. It's
Yeah. This is exactly what we anticipated.
everyday life.
Oh God, this dog's.
There she is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, off, Coco. Just say off.
Off.
Off, Coco. Good girl.
All right.
Okay. Well, it could be called the B&S show.
The BNS show, but I think that's already the umbrella, right?
Yeah.
We need a name just for the
The
podcast.
S&B show.
We love music podcasts.
The BS cast. Yeah, we love music. So
We
gonna
really do.
We're going to talk about music. It's not so
Yeah.
much reaction as discussion, but I thought we could just take turns playing a song maybe that I don't know, and I know you don't know, and then sometimes we'll both know it. Or whatever, and we can just talk.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
I think that also
Make sure this is
the
recording.
fact that we
Yeah,
is recording.
it is.
This is so great. We're just
So ADD.
so
Hey, if you got ADD, you were late.
yeah. You can tell this is the first one. Brian's been up and down 15
He's
times.
the pro. I'm not moving.
We've had a dog
A dog.
come into the frame. Brian gotten up 6, 7 times.
Yeah,
We got cats in the background.
yeah, we do. A red couch.
A red couch. So it's a little different. We don't have a green screen.
Who needs it?
Yeah,
Who needs it?
you don't need
Well,
it.
we used to have the music up behind us, on the green screen or whatever, but we can still put a video up there.
Yeah.
But this is more about talking.
I think that we tried to do something like that a while back when we were doing the reactions. Remember, we went outside and we did a little thing, and I
Yeah.
mentioned having some wine and
Yeah.
conversation. So
Okay.
this is basically it without the wine.
Yeah. Well, we do it later in the day and have the wine.
Some water would be good.
Yeah.
But
Well, yeah, we bring that in later.
yeah, I think that both of our love for music is, what brings us back together and what, brought us together, for the reaction shows.
Yeah. Not
So-
the comedy because we're not very funny.
Yeah, but the music part, man, it was crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
We learned a lot.
we did from our first show to our last. Of course, we went through the pandemic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of new artists that we didn't know about that we got introduced to. That's the cool part, right?
Yeah. Yeah, who was it? Like Juice World, for example, was brand new back then, I think. Like now everybody knows.
Yeah, Juice World. A lot of the people that were listening to Reaction, they know about Dimash. We didn't know about Dimash and Blackpink.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember Blackpink?
Yeah.
Ginger.
Right, Ginger. Yeah.
Even Chris Stapleton.
That's true. We didn't know about Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the love of music introduced us to all those people, and I think you realize how small of a world you live in
Yeah, well, with the internet, that's for sure. Yeah.
So we're very thankful, but now we want to do something a little different. Just sometimes just conversation about music, because we love music.
We do. We do. And we have somewhat different tastes too, so I think that's going to be interesting for the folks.
I think that's what makes our relationship special when it comes to music.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's special. Have you heard any new artists since we haven't been doing our thing?
Yeah. Well, it's weird. Our camera's recording. My phone is recording, so
Just
I don't
name,
have my
but
reference.
you know the name.
Well, I've listened to a lot of death metal. Decapitated is
that's the name of a group.
The name of band is Decapitated.
Wow.
But I listen to a lot of it used to be my mowing music. I would mow to like Scar Symmetry or Devil Driver or now Decapitated. That was some of the best times I would have here.
Brian said what he said just now is he listened to a lot of church music.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, but I mean, I did a deep dive yesterday on Bob Seger. I listened to a lot of Bob Seger songs I hadn't heard. Just trying to figure out.
Now, was that your first time hearing Bob Seger?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, because I grew up on classic rock.
Okay.
So, in the 80s, too. What
Yeah.
classic wasn't no Pearl?
Man,
There wasn't any Pearl Jam at that point.
Oh, my
right?
gosh. The best music. Best times. The 80s.
Yeah, and then, 60s, 70s, there's all kinds of different stuff. Do you see there's a documentary called Yacht Rock? That focuses on like Michael McDonald and like that sort of groovy, soft rock kind of thing.
What's it called? What's the name of it?
It's called Yacht Rock.
Yacht? Y-A-T or
like
Y-O-T?
the boat, like the boat.
Oh, okay.
So like.
No, I would definitely be interested in it though.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's on. I forget what channel it's on, but that one's good. So yeah, got some Michael McDonald, Steely Dan, and all that kind of stuff there. In the 70s and then the 60s. There's some good Reddit subreddits too.
Yeah.
Like there's a classic rock one. There's a jazz one I'm on. There's a ton of jazz people I've never heard of.
I'll tell you what I like to do on Sundays. I like to listen to Casey Kasem's Countdown. Do you listen to that?
He's not alive.
He's not alive.
So
he's been dead. It's pre-recorded, but it takes you back.
Yeah.
It takes you back. And you're like, yeah, the perfect voice.
Yeah, he's funny.
And then they have the stories. Sometimes there's a story around the song.
Yeah.
And then I think my favorite is the long distance dedication.
Oh, it's been a long time because I probably haven't listened to that.
It comes on tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think 8 to 12
like on live radio.
102.5. Check it out. If you want to go back, and
it's a good suggestion.
Yeah.
Like, that would be a good nostalgia thing. Kind of like listen to Garrison Keillor or something.
It really is great, man. I mean, I love listening to it. I mean, they do all the years, and and the nostalgia is like, wow.
That's an OG radio guy, Casey Kasem, or at least he sounds like it. He probably when was he mostly on in the 70s and 80s?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, he might have been on before that, but became real popular, especially in late 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
Because music really exploded.
What was the name of his show?
I think it's Casey's Countdown.
Okay.
Casey's Coast to Cook. Might be Casey. Something like that.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking about legend, man.
Casey Kasem.
Yeah.
I don't really know anything about him except his voice and all this stuff, his music.
Well, think about it. This is over 30 years later.
Yeah.
And they're still playing a countdown that you already know what the countdown is. What does that tell you?
That tells you. Well, that's why they call it classic rock.
Yeah.
Right? It's like all the best stuff. And I mean, a best of, it's hard to do. I guess we could do a best of the 2010s at this point or something.
Yeah, but the 80s, how do you do it? I don't know if you can do a best of. Think about the heat,
man,
that came out of the 80s.
It's insane. Like I saw a thing the other day that was like the last 10 in the top 200 from the 80s, and some of those songs in the last 10, I was like, there's no way they're at the bottom. Like,
what was this?
It is there's an 80s music subreddit.
Okay.
Reddit.
Okay. Yeah, because like I was saying, think about when you think about heat from, like artists in their prime in the 80s.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson. What?
Yeah.
What?
Well, no, yeah, he's
Madonna.
all time.
What? Prince.
Yeah.
Bob Seger. You talking about
oh, come on.
Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah.
John Cougar. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Prince. You didn't even mention Prince.
I mentioned Prince.
Did you mention Prince?
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention to what you were
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah. I mean, all these mega stars
Yeah.
that were competing for the top, whatever the music was, you know,
And then
in their primes. All of them in their primes.
We Are the World, so they had, you know, it's like an all-star game.
I remember
We Are
that.
the
I remember
World,
that.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
remember
cool. The 90s were real different with grunge and, you know, but there's a lot of different genres. 70s, you gotta go back and get some funk.
that. Disco.
Disco, a little bit disco.
Yeah, if you look over the way things have changed.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of music.
Yeah.
Nothing stays the same.
Yeah, I mean, people talk now like, oh, there's nothing new or it's not as innovative or whatever. But there's a lot of history to build on top of, for one thing, you know. And the live thing is not what it used to be, you know. People would go to these festivals and concerts all the time, and now it's mostly online and people are listening by themselves. You know, there's certainly festivals, but it's not as common as what it used to be.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't think concerts for the most part are what they were.
Yeah.
I tell you who has a great fan base though. Country music.
Yeah.
They still go out.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, I think overall country music goes out. I mean, you have some people in different genres that they might like that artist and they'll go out. But
Yeah.
overall, country music, those fans are really, really dedicated.
Yeah. Go out there with your red Solo cup. Tailgate a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit of tailgating.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so.
What did you think of Kendrick's Super Bowl thing?
It's crazy to me that a guy could do a song, not a lot of guests on there. I think he had maybe 2 guests,
Yeah.
and still put another guy down
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
biggest stage.
Yeah. Wait, who did you put down?
Drake.
Oh, well, that's easy.
This- Man, it's I don't know. I mean, rap music's a little different, but for him to win a Grammy off the song that was a diss track, and now you perform it at the Super Bowl.
That's good,
now
though.
they're doing instrumentals. I mean, it's
part of rap and hip hop anyway, right? At least we're not shooting each other now.
That's a great point.
right? Because you're still gonna have a little ribbing back and forth. The stand-ups do that.
that's
know.
really a
So you
good
have
point.
roasts.
That's a
right?
really good point. Yeah. So they're not taking it too seriously where people are dying. So I agree with
at least
you.
we've moved
I
on.
agree with you on that. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. But,
Yeah. But that was cool. I mean, even the overhead, the way that everything was moving,
Yeah.
you know, and stuff. It's interesting. You definitely have to. People that don't like hip hop didn't like it, whatever. But
yeah, I don't think they would like, no matter who it was.
Yeah,
and then you
that's
know,
true.
and Kendrick's a little deep
Yeah.
with the lyrics. You just got to really pay attention and know what he's talking about. But
Yeah.
I thought it was good. I didn't know what I was gonna. I didn't know what it was going to be at first because I haven't listened to too much Kendrick, just certain songs.
Yeah.
But I never seen him actually perform. But when I saw him perform, I could see that it was more than rap. He was like, you know, his lyrics meant something.
Yeah.
Not even just the dissing to Drake, but just in general. I think that's where Kendrick is.
On the state things, right?
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Well, I always laugh when I think of The Weeknd's performance because I'm like, well, at least it was better than The Weeknd. You remember The Weeknd? He was running around in a hall of mirrors, lost. The poor guy was and it was really weird. He was running around these hallways of mirrors.
What Super Bowl was that?
I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, or
wow.
But like, I felt bad for him because somebody had a really bad idea and it just did not. It was actually. I mean,
and he's very talented.
Yes, he is great.
Yeah,
it was so bad that it was funny to me. Like, why is The Weeknd lost in a hall of mirrors on the Super Bowl field? It's just strange.
Yeah.
Anyway, but Kendrick was better than that.
Yeah, I think. Who's your what Super Bowl is your favorite?
Oh, I don't know. You mean like performance?
Halftime performance, yeah.
Man, I don't know if I've seen them all, but I did like that whole Dr. Dre Snoop that one. That to me in recent times, the last 10, 20 years, that might be the best one. But
Yeah, I like Michael Jackson was good.
yeah, I don't remember that one.
I think Michael Jackson did the one that early
back.
one, didn't
Go back and look.
he? Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is too, the Super Bowls are, and I heard they don't get paid for that.
What? You get paid in exposure?
Yeah, you paid exposure.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, because I know Kendrick. Just looking online, I just
That's
saw all
really
the numbers, just like.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, you just get more plays, people
Dude,
come to
imagine-
concerts. It's probably worth it.
Oh, definitely.
You know?
Yeah, especially if you're. Can you imagine just doing a great album and you getting a lot of money and a lot of views? And then all of a sudden, a year goes by, and then you do the Super Bowl, and then that goes up again.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a good deal.
Yeah, You were asking about. We're talking about stuff that you did,
Yeah.
music that you've listened to.
Yeah. What did you listen to?
Man, there is a girl named Orion Sun.
Oh, you mentioned her. I haven't
This is how I discovered her. I was coming down. I was doing a comedy show, and I was. It was the next morning, so I was leaving out early. It's like 4 or 5 in the morning,
Okay.
and I was coming down the steps, and they're playing a song
Yeah.
on the on the loudspeaker,
Yeah.
and I kind of froze in my tracks. I'm like, who's that? And so I did the little
Shazam.
yeah, and I got the artist, and then as I am headed back home, I'm listening to her song, and I just went down the rabbit hole.
We'll have to check her out.
Oh man,
Maybe we should play one of those.
yeah,
Uh,
great artist. Woo,
we'll
woo,
check her out. I got a name drop though. I actually met the guy that started Shazam.
for real.
Yeah, but I can't name drop because I don't remember his name. But
Yeah.
he was a nice guy.
Where did you meet him at?
I was doing a keynote speech at a thing, and he did, and a couple other people were,
Oh wow.
keynote speeches there. Talked to him, yeah.
Sound Brian
I don't really
Brian
know.
Rose.
I don't really know that many famous people other than Stan.
That's funny.
No, it's funny and speaking of comedy, seeing Dusty do well, and Vince is opening for him, Dusty Slay, and then a friend of mine that I started with in San Diego is starting to get a lot of traction on YouTube. His name's Zoltan. He's super funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway.
I think everybody has their time.
Yeah, that's true. And if you in comedy, it seems like if you wait long enough.
Comedy, you have to wait.
Yeah.
Comedy is not like music to where you can have a hit song and the next day you're famous and you just making oodles of money. Comedy, it's a grind, man.
That's true.
You
It takes
can't
a long time.
one hot joke is not gonna make you famous.
It takes a long time.
Now I will say now that because everything's about followers and subscribers. I will say that one hot joke can take your followers and subscribers to another level.
Yeah. You know what's interesting to me is like I feel like Nate Bargatze, his big success happened very fast, and that's that whole joke overnight success in 20 years. But I don't know if we saw him in Theater 99 maybe 10 years ago or something with 3 other guys.
That's crazy.
Sean Patton and
I met Sean Patton when I lived in Atlanta. So,
yeah.
But Nate Bargatze, I just listened to a podcast that he was telling this story. This last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it seems like my point being kind of I think even with Bill Burr or Louis C.K. when they were kind of hitting the top of super fame as a comedian, didn't accelerate as quickly as Nate's did. Do you know what I mean? It seemed like it only took 3 months, and then he was on Saturday Night Live, from a special. But could just be my perception. But point being, it just takes forever to for people to like Zoltan's getting 100,000 views on a video and nobody's heard of him. So it's.
Yeah. That's the beauty of social media too, though. Is that 10 years ago, or I'll say 20, 30 years ago, you needed to get on a late night talk show to become
that's right.
to become famous or to be successful.
Get your HBO special.
Get your HBO special. And now those late night talk shows don't hold any heat.
Yeah.
You can get on there and they're like, well, okay, you're on there, but how many followers do you have? Right?
Right. That's right.
Nobody's
Yeah,
getting famous off of
those are your metrics now.
a late night performance, late night talk show performance. Nobody's getting famous anymore. So now it's about followers, subscribers, and you see people that have a lot of followers. These people are killing it, which I'm happy for them. I'm glad there's a different way to have success instead of just having to go on late night. But there's
same deal there. As we've talked about, you have to keep doing that, putting that content out all the time, whether it's a live show or it's a sketch, or whatever video that takes time to. But anyway, we're off of music. I took us way off of music.
You did. Shame on you. But we were talking about music compared to comedy.
Yeah.
So you're still in the ballpark.
Yeah.
But in music, you can have one hit song and just blow up.
It's crazy.
And it's always been like that though. That's why they what do they call one hit wonders?
Well, yeah. The Gap Band.
The Gap Band wasn't a one hit wonder.
They were?
Hell
Someone
no.
just got offended.
Yeah, the Gap Band, man.
Bruce Springsteen, one hit wonder.
Brian breaking furniture. The furniture don't lie. But yeah, there were a lot of one hit wonders. Music right now though is we're so
Sean
live.
Jones. Hi, Sean Jones.
Sean Jones. Speaking of
The devil. Well,
speaking of success, boy, Sean.
I see him on
comedy.
Instagram sometimes.
Oh yeah, Sean's. Whew, I've done some stuff with Sean, man. Sean's a beast, dude.
Yeah.
Goodness. Matter of fact, he and I are at Wits End Comedy Club, March 21st and 2nd.
Right on. I'll have to check if I'm in town.
Yeah.
But if I am, I'll come.
Yeah,
see
check
you.
that out. Me dropping, doing a little promo on our first
That's
podcast.
right. All of you over in the Philippines and Norway, you come on see
Yeah,
the show here in Charleston, South Carolina.
Yeah, come on down. Come on down. You only got a couple of weeks to get your flight.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're talking about. What were we talking about?
We were talking about one hit
Music.
wonders.
Yeah.
One hit wonders.
Yeah.
And,
What did you think about Milli Vanilli?
Well, they were like a band that like my sister would listen to when I was growing up. Like, and she actually, Michael Jackson was too. I was not into Michael Jackson when he came out.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was listening to progressive rock.
Yeah.
Yes, and Rush and all that nerdy stuff.
Ah.
So, yeah. But what do you think about?
I was overseas in the military when their album came out.
Yeah.
And I thought they were great,
Yeah.
not knowing what I know now.
Right. They just
But
lip synced, right? And
they
then they wrote
lip-
the music. They just were.
That's all they did. Two guys that looked good, and they were kind of doomed. And I guess it was win-win because they looked the part, and somebody else like
German?
did
Where
not.
were they from?
I don't know, somewhere over there.
Yeah, Austria. I don't know, some country you wouldn't expect.
But man, and here's the thing: they were huge.
Yeah.
Gosh,
They were huge. And then
Oh
they got
my
taken
God.
down real quick.
real quick.
Yeah.
I think they won a Grammy.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Wow.
Won a
That's
Grammy.
funny. That's funny.
Can't even really speak English, but won a Grammy.
We were working on I told you we were working on a sitcom idea that we're going to film and put on YouTube. And it's
Oh, bro.
basically that, yeah. We've talked about having you be my therapist or something. On
Oh,
it.
yeah?
Like, it's going to be, it's basically set during the pandemic, and it's about a bunch of people that have to live together. So it's like the awkward, like 5 people in an elevator premise. But
Yeah.
we were talking about like how does our friend Linda and David, how do they come to the house to have to live with us? And the idea was that they were on a cruise that got canceled, and I was like, can it please be a Milli Vanilli cruise that got canceled?
Yeah.
I thought that was but, you know.
Yeah, that's. But yeah, I was overseas when it came out, and within a couple of years, it just, everything exploded. So,
then they went into damage control mode and blaming each other.
Oh, did they? I don't remember the fallout. I just remember like, oh, they were fake.
One of them went on Arsenio Hall and tried to prove that he could sing. And
what? Did he? Did he sing? Well,
I don't think so.
What did Arsenio used to say? Like whoop whoop?
Yeah, it was the whoop whoop guy. Yeah, Arsenio was good, man. He had a it was a different audience for a lot of people.
That's true.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
Back to music.
Back to music. That was funny.
Wow.
That was actually the JBL speaker like turning off.
Oh.
But when it makes sounds that sound like a guitar.
Okay,
so
I was about to sing.
Do we want to listen to this Aurora lady?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Orion Sun.
Oh, okay. Wait, you'll have to type it in because I don't know how to spell that. Orion. Oh, Orion. Orion is like a galaxy, right?
Man, yeah.
Oh, okay. So, do you know what you want to listen to?
Let me see. We got a song.
These are newer, so let's go.
Okay.
Let's go to her channel and see what the most popular ones are.
Have the same type of smooth sound.
But yeah.
This is one of my favorite songs, actually. That's on her latest album, man.
That's real simple too. It's like the guitar, acoustic guitar, maybe a string quartet or something.
And she plays like a lot of her own instruments, man. She's very, very talented. And some of her, like this is her older stuff that that I heard when I was on the elevator. I'm not sure which song it was.
Hang on. Turn this down too.
Might have been that one. That might have been the song that I heard. As you can see, she has all the stuff she's doing herself.
Sade is smooth, but this lady's voice, is her name really?
I don't know. I don't know her real name. I just know that's what she goes by.
She's a little more like high and fragile sounding in a good way.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's good to be different, but I see where there are similarities.
Yeah, that's groovy. That stuff is really nice.
Yeah, it's really cool when you just
see, that's good for the wine podcast. That's a good sound.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's really good when you either get a recommendation or you find something authentically, and then you're like, oh. Yeah. Like when I went down the rabbit hole, man, I was like, like now I have another artist,
right? It's
that I really, really like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, actually, that's kind of the way my life is. Like, I'm like, what can I be excited about next? You know, kind of like.
I know you're like that, dude. You get bored quick.
But that's why it's so cool when you find like an artist where you're like, oh, there's like 4 or 5 albums I've never heard.
Yeah,
Like, well,
and then you go down that rabbit hole.
and that's all you listen to.
And who do you have like that now?
That's a good question. I might be between them. Might be between people. There is a guy from a progressive rock band called Porcupine Tree. This guy named Steven Wilson who has some very interesting stuff. Let me see if I can find you one real quick, because there's just a part to this one song that I found really nice. Steven Wilson, Perfect Life. Okay, and there's like a voiceover thing in the beginning. I'm gonna skip past.
Uh-huh.
She was 3 years old.
So I don't like that part of the song.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Trace that. It's builds. So it should be like a Prozac commercial or something. Prozac may cause constipation.
And this is Steven Wilson?
Yeah, he's from a band called Porcupine Tree.
This is a solo song?
This is a solo album. He's got 4 or 5 solo albums. The one I like is called something about bones. Something. Anyway, yeah, I discovered that from the progressive rock subreddit and Reddit. And actually saw his band on a cruise one time.
Before this came out?
Probably 8 years ago. But it's nice. It has that feeling and a moment to it that's very positive, and it just
Yeah,
you're just kind of like.
Yeah, you can listen to that shit on the cruise, in your backyard, by the fireplace.
Yeah, driving down a country road.
Yeah.
Huh?
Wow. The time will go by pretty fast when you listen to music like that, man.
Yeah, and it's not super fast too, so it's kind of chill.
Yeah. You can enjoy the actual views of wherever you're going. I love music like that.
Yeah. It's like it's kind of like musical dopamine or musical Prozac or whatever.
Yeah.
Puts you in that mood.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've never even heard of this guy or Porcupine.
Porcupine Tree.
Yeah.
I mean, I barely remember them, but I remembered they were good. And I didn't even know his first name or that he had solo albums or anything. So that's that's why I like Reddit, because like I'll hear about a new band or I'll hear about an old band, or they'll be like,
now what's subreddit?
A subreddit is a Reddit group.
Okay.
So like a Reddit discussion.
So Reddit's the umbrella, then subreddit's under there?
Yeah, Reddit's the app, and
Okay.
then you get on there, and there are groups for everything.
Wow.
Absolutely
I'm going to check
everything.
that out.
Yeah, it's pretty popular, and their stock's doing pretty well too.
Oh.
I'm not trying to pump and dump. You know,
How long has subreddit been out?
Reddit's been around for what, 20 years probably.
Yeah.
And it used to be just mostly like autistic nerds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, now everybody's invading y'all space.
No, it's all kinds of people. Like, I mean, there's like a liberal gun owners subreddit. There's like
That's what I'm saying. Everybody's invading your.
everybody. Yeah, it's not my space, and I'm
I mean,
always
as far
on
as the subreddit portion of it.
Well, the subreddit is a group, so
Yeah.
there's like thousands of subreddits, right? Yeah.
But it started out with just nerds.
Yeah, it's pretty nerdy.
Yeah. I wouldn't.
It still is. I mean, like if you get on there and they're talking about working out, they're probably talking about the science of working out or something.
Oh, I got you.
You know?
Well, for me, it's like I would go on there for the music, other things too. But the fact that you said you got some suggestions or recommendations from it, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah. Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, people get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Get out of your comfort zone. Do something different. Listen to a different artist.
Yeah.
Just try it.
Yeah.
Oh, another one. Speaking of different artists, there's a guy named Brian Culbertson.
That's a funny name. Culbertson?
Brian Culbertson.
I've never heard of that name.
The Blue Album. Brian C-U-L-B.
Culbertson.
Yep. Color of Love. Let me see. Blue. Let's see blue. Go Color of Love.
Colors of Love.
See if that's. See if you can find the blue. Go down.
Well, I'll take
Yeah,
blue.
blue.
Blue Album.
Boom! Look at you.
I can't click right. Here we go. The Blue Album. He looks like a thoughtful guy.
They look like Max Headroom. Remember Max that Coke commercial from back in the day?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But listen to this. Just take it in, and I'll tell you the story behind
I
how.
think I turned it down too much.
Yeah, turn it up.
Oh, I was going back and listening to Bruce Hornsby.
Yeah.
You listen to Bruce Hornsby? No. Oh my God. 80s. Does he sing too, or is it all piano?
Not on this one.
It's nice. This is good massage music. Like I have a massage lady, and she played some music, and I was like, this sounds like a Kenny G guitar or something. She laughed, and she was like, well, you're gonna have to send me some of your music. And I did. I sent her a whole bunch of this type of relaxing, positive
Yeah.
music. Okay. That's nice. It's like we're going to the spa. Let's go to the spa.
All right. Go ahead and go to the next song.
Or he's like the male Enya. I like it. This one's real. Oh, it's real minimalistic. That's nice.
You ever heard this guy before?
It's kind of how my piano sounds. It's like, this is all like probably C major. All white keys.
That's what it is?
Yeah. I mean, it could be all black, but it's like, it's not, it's major, not minor. Which is positive.
You go to the next one.
Next song?
Yeah.
Alright. Then I gotta play you some Bruce Hornsby. I think you're gonna recognize it.
Now, this is a song that introduced me to this guy. And I'll tell you the story in a second. Once a little bit of play so you can cut it off.
It kind of reminds me of an 80s sound. A little bit.
My favorite part's starting to come up.
Nice. You are a cheesy individual.
Oh, okay. Good.
It's funny.
You're good.
Alright. Listen.
So let me tell you the story behind this.
Okay.
So I was doing a comedy show in Chicago,
Yeah.
and
Nurses Night Out tour. But we were, so I was doing the show, and then before, it was like, I guess like the next day, I was going to look up a steak joint to eat at.
Yeah.
And I called an Uber, and I got in the Uber, and he was playing this song. And I was so impressed. I was like, who is this guy? Like I'm asking the Uber, like, who's this guy? And he told me, and I looked him up, went down the little rabbit hole, and it's like one of my favorite artists.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him. He's very positive. I spend a lot of time listening to relaxing music because I'm a pretty type A and get stressed out type of person, overthinker, love to like go, 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 but then I need times like this.
They don't know that. I know that.
You never know what.
I know you're an overthinker.
Yes. Let me tell you about it. That's awesome. All right. Music from Uber drivers. There's no way that
Bruce Hornsby, the name sounds
know
really
Bruce
familiar.
Hornsby.
I might not know the song that goes with it,
Uh-huh.
but definitely heard the name.
But here's the thing is he was very popular. He also played with the Dead for a while, but then his newer stuff is really beautiful.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's Bruce Hornsby.
Oh, yeah. That's just the way it is. Yeah.
Yes, that's.
Oh,
that
my
was a
gosh.
huge,
That's classic.
huge sound from the 80s.
Yeah.
Big
My
part
bad.
of it.
I feel bad now.
But I'm not going to belabor it. But just his sense of melody and the way he voices chords and stuff, as you know, is like super positive, super interesting.
I don't know why you didn't play this. That's the way it is. That's my shit.
Oh, you want to keep hearing?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's exactly.
There you go. Yeah, he really created a mood for people in that decade. This is one of the moods that just people got excited about. Synth bass, ready? Synth bass. This is the cheesiest music podcast ever, guys. Super cheese. Brian and Steve.
That's just the way it is. Some things will never change.
Look at that.
That's just the way it is.
He's feeling the music.
But don't you believe that?
It's probably one of my all-time favorite 80s songs.
Yeah. But not true. Now that I didn't remember the name of the guy, but I remember the actual song. I mean, that's classic.
So positive,
Yeah.
you know. And again, so he played with the Grateful Dead, which was an interesting sound for hearing his piano with the Grateful Dead. I don't have any of that like queued up or anything, but his newer stuff too is really. I wouldn't say it's kind of like jazz, but it's still just a really playful melodic kind of sound.
Yeah.
So
Was that his? That had to be his most popular song.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they had 4 or 5 more that you would definitely recognize.
Wow.
But Bruce Hornsby.
Damn, good job on
And
that.
interesting too because he's still putting out music, but like people don't talk about him, you know, for some reason. But yeah, he was popular for a long time.
Yeah, that song right there, man. That's one of the best songs ever. Like, you hear that? You're like, all right, I know that song.
It's also like a social commentary. That song is a little bit bittersweet about how people treat each other, or is there hope for change? You know? That's the way it is. So I told Linda that I was like, I listened to that again and I realized it's actually not that positive a song. Like when you listen to the lyrics, it's actually talking about how people are like, it's it is, you know.
Yeah, I think sometimes we get caught up in the groove or
Yeah.
the beat of a song and we don't pay attention to the lyrics.
But I mean, think about how clever that is because like if you want to get out a Bob Dylan type social criticism thing, but in the 80s he had to go. It was perfect for him to do that, but sound so positive.
Man, I just can't even tell people the feeling of music in the 80s. Like if you just think about it now, it's just you get goosebumps.
Yeah.
And that's why that there's so many stations that have classic rock or back in the day, or I mean, this is 2025.
Yeah.
And songs from the 80s are on regular rotation.
And
Songs now,
yeah,
30 years from now, will not.
that's the problem because that's when you say people aren't as creative or whatever anymore. They're using like I always say like some of the best 80s songs came out in the last 10 years because they're not the best 80s songs, but they sound like they're like more 80s. You want some more 80s? Here's more 80s.
Yeah.
And that's cool, but like you're saying, it may not be as memorable. Or it could be maybe younger people listen to that and they never heard this, and so they were listening to somebody that basically kind of took things in the flavor of Bruce Hornsby and they're doing their own thing with it, or combining with three other artists and stuff. But,
Comments that I've read, and not all comments, but it's still surprising that more of the younger generation. If you read the comments, which is something we have to probably go into also, where we put up the comments where people say, "I don't like this music today. I like," this. I like the old stuff. And you're talking about younger people.
Well, that's true. I remember having a friend in San Diego who's like his teenage girls were like getting into Led Zeppelin, and they're like, "Wow, this is amazing."
Yeah.
You know.
How blessed? No, I'm serious now. I'm serious. How blessed and fortunate were we to have come up in that era?
I'm happy that we did. I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
When you talk about icons of music in their primes, we were there for that.
Right.
We came up with that.
Yep. But thinking like you don't know until like 20 years later, and you're like, well, just this is not as good.
Yeah.
And
but I think even then, though, I know I did. I felt it.
Yeah.
I didn't know. How about this? I thought music after that might challenge it, but I was wrong.
Well, it's there's always different stuff. For example, like I think I'm a little bit younger. When I was in high school, those 3-4 years, Depeche Mode was new, The Cure was new, REM was new, and so there was some really new, exciting stuff to discover then.
But you're talking about the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Early 90s.
I remember REM came out.
Yeah, late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
My sister and I went to the Green tour. We had the Green, but that was the Orange Crush song.
Yeah.
And, we had the T-shirts, but I think it's that part of what you're talking about is like when you come up during that time, it's all new and it's all coming out at once, and you're like, holy crap! And that's even with grunge. I think I said this before. Like, I'd be like, well, Nirvana's great and Soundgarden's good, and but Stone Temple Pilots is stupid and blah blah blah. And then you go back now and you're like, no, the band, they were by comparison maybe not as great, but still better than just about every rock band that's new today. So
I see what you're saying.
It's yeah.
No, I know what you're saying, but when I talk about the 80s, like I said, just the icons, man.
Yeah.
I mean, goodness gracious.
Yeah. But I think you had those. I don't know.
And then to be able to come up during that time, feeling so, and that's just like people now coming up in the internet age, like the social media age. It's great for them because of the things you can do with social media. Like, you could be, I'm just gonna call it what it is. You can be a hot chick and walk across the street, and they're gonna give you 10 million views. And I'm not hating on that because they get paid.
Yeah.
you know, they get paid, so they're able to feed their families and you know and everything. But it's just crazy.
There's more people getting that now because like the lens was so narrow, and then also like the amount of fame was so focused. Like, you know, if the question would be is if Michael Jackson came up today, of course he'd be great, but hang on, he wouldn't be one of only 5 or 10 artists that people are listening to. That's the difference. Is that you got your girl that can walk across the street for $10 million. There's probably 100 of them now.
It is. It is.
The difference in social media.
It is 100 of them.
It opens up more opportunity, but we also have to go back and say maybe there were other bands that would have become great or would have come up or would have become famous if social media existed back in the 70s and the 80s.
Could you imagine at Michael Jackson's popularity, let's say Thriller, how many followers he would have?
All of them. They have all the
I
followers.
mean, you think these guys have a lot of followers now. Cristiano Ronaldo, I think he's the leader,
There's
the
also,
soccer guy.
like the novelty thing to it because like Thriller video, no one had done that before in a video. Like all of the stuff that we were seeing on MTV, they were creating videos. Like no one had done it before. There was no map. Like everything was new.
Even MTV was new.
Yeah. The whole aha take on me drawing thing was, you know, that kind of creativity where people are like, what can I do in the video that's different, that's new?
But can you imagine the popularity that he had now if it transcended to today? Oh gosh. People just don't realize how big he was.
Yeah. No, that's true. It's like Jordan or LeBron or, you know, Ronaldo, like these phenoms that come out that just have...
Well, see, the thing with
So much-
Ronaldo and LeBron, they are here during the social media age in their primes. Jordan wasn't.
True.
So
And
if
then you got all
you imagine him in his prime,
No.
I mean, he's retired over, 15 years ago? 15, 20 years ago?
Oh. 90s, wasn't it?
98.
Oh, okay.
98, because they wasn't,
27 years or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, when he came back with the Wizards, when was that? Was that?
We're not gonna count.
We're going to talk about that.
I don't. That to
That
me,
was a
that to me,
different
that was a business move.
It was like when Magic came back and tried to play for
But at least
the
Magic came back to the Lakers.
Yeah.
But Jordan, I
okay.
think, was more of a business move because
Okay.
with that, it was like, all right, I'm gonna play, but I need ownership in the actual team. And then from that, it went to it was a great move. Went to the Hornet, the Bobcats, and the Hornets.
Yeah.
So, but shit, he still makes like $90 million a year just from Nike. So,
It's insane.
but how about this? I remember so we keep it sort of like on music.
Yeah.
When he was doing doing one of the championships, I think it was '92, maybe '92, '93. He and Michael Jackson did a video together.
And they did? Like a music video?
It was like some type of promotional video.
Huh.
It was kind of cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so we can either call this super cheese or we can call it old guys on a couch being nostalgic. Or we can call
Old
it
guys on the couch. That's funny.
the BNS show.
Old guys on the couch.
Oh, yeah.
Old guys on the couch who love
No,
you.
the 80s were the
Old-
best. They were better.
Old guys. Well, even the younger people are saying that though.
Yeah.
And then you look at the
Okay, what year? I vote for 1986 or 1987.
for the best
The
years.
best 80s year. We'll have to go through that later.
Yeah.
Which 80s year had the best music.
I'm gonna say like 84, 85, 86.
Maybe.
That's
There's
one-
a lot of genres in there too.
that's
You got
true.
hair metal, and then like
Yeah, we didn't talk about the medals.
No.
We didn't talk about
No.
them.
and then
the hair bands.
and then too like the I've gone through some of these decades, right, or years, like all the popular songs in 1982 or 1981, or and then some of those years were very depressing. Like there was a mood. I think it was 82. There was
82, 81.
There was a mood that was really low.
Yeah.
It was just it was like when we were afraid of the Russians.
We don't need no education.
Yeah.
That came out during that time.
Was it?
We
What was it,
don't
70s?
need. No, it was 80s. It was like 81, 82 maybe.
Oh, The Wall, Pink Floyd.
Yeah, good job.
81?
Look it up.
Might be.
That's what Reddit's for on Google.
All right. Well, I think that's an episode.
Yeah, man. It was crazy. We just talked about music and then got into comedy. And then we tried to bring it back in.
Yeah, right. Music, basketball, comedy are three of my favorite things.
Yeah, so if you guys are, and they can still follow us on the BNS show, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll put this out on there and
Yeah.
probably figure out a name for this thing later on.
Maybe we should get some suggestions.
Yeah, there you go. So number one, what do you think about all the crazy stuff we said and the things we didn't know? You can fill us in, and where we're wrong. And then also, what should we call this?
Yeah,
New
this podcast.
That
Yeah. And what did you think about the podcast?
yeah.
The very first one. We hadn't even seen each other in a while.
Right.
We ate lunch about 2 weeks ago,
That's right.
but we hadn't seen each other in 2 or 3 years.
Maybe off and on.
Couple years.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about the new look?
Do we look different?
I do. 'Cause I got
Oh.
yeah. Remember I had the goatee,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
but we're
I
trying to
know,
do
Greg.
something different. And tell us what you think about the podcast, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Peace out.
Yeah.
You
Peace.
know what we do?
That's when we do the reactions.
Oh, we don't do that?
You remember how to do it?
No, I don't. I don't remember.
I don't either. We gotta go look at a video.
Yeah.
I know it's something when we do it at the same
Pick up
time.
and do one. No, let's see.
Nah.
That's what we do.
But yeah, it was something like that.
No, we did. We did.
We out.
We out.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the point is
Oh my God.
probably. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. All right, my bro.
All right. That's funny.